Ontap may report that a volume is out of inodes because it has reached the maximum number of files, or that the volume is running out of inodes. What can you do to correct this error message? This video will answer that question. All volumes in Ontap have both a default count and a maximum possible file count. If your data requires a large number of files, you can increase the default count. If you wish to do so, there are a few space and performance concerns you should be aware of. Please review the video titled Understanding the Ontap Maximum File Limits before proceeding with this change. If you need to increase the default number of files, first, choose between either increasing the volume size or manually setting the default limit to a higher value. Either one will increase the default maximum number of files in Ontap 9.13 and later. Getting a maximum file error is an indication of how the volume is getting used, and you should review that volume space usage. If you decide to increase the volume size, see the documentation on the volume size command. Before changing the maximum number of files, it may be helpful to view the existing settings. Use the volume show command in advanced privilege level and include the fields argument. Then, add the parameters files, files used, and files maximum possible. The files column shows us the current default maximum file count setting. The files used column gives you the count of inodes currently in use by files. And finally, the files maximum possible column gives you the absolute maximum number of files possible based on the size of the volume. To increase the default number of files for any volume, you can use the volume modify command and increase it up to the absolute maximum. Simply specify the volume name you want to change, include the files argument, and then specify the number of inodes you need. It's that simple. You cannot set the files count lower than the existing number of files used. A frequent question we get is, how much can I increase the inode count? If you understand your workload well and can predict what your file growth will likely be, then set it to meet your needs. If you're not sure, then NetApp recommends starting with a 2% increase. This value is based on our experience and reflects the average for file creation and growth. Another question we frequently get is during a migration of data to NetApp storage. We recommend setting the volume file count to at least 2% higher than the number of files on the existing storage. It is possible to automatically set the default file count to the maximum possible in Ontap 9.9 and later. In advanced privilege mode, use volume modify and set the argument files set maximum to true. This will set the inode count to the maximum possible for that size of volume. If you increase the size of the volume, it will not set the file's value higher unless you run this command again. Ontap is designed to handle large data and file count workloads. Sometimes, depending on your workload, monitoring and administrative tuning may be needed to get the best out of your NetApp system. We hope you found this video helpful. Be sure and check the description section for further information. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.